So, just let me know. Uh, did I finish with the image signal? They discuss all these things. Section A, I did, right? What is section B? Please respond to me. Honorable guys, please respond to me. Section A or B? Just let me know whether I finished this discussion super hate uh, up to the end, the image signal, the last part of the discussion. Did you finish it or I didn't? Guys, I hear you. Okay.
जी सर।
Okay. Welcome, ALP. Hey, please respond to me. Nice thing. Section A and B, guys. Please let me know. I don't remember where I was. Please let me know whether yes.
এগুলি পড়ানো হয়নি স্যার, ওই যে এইগুলা কিছু পড়ানো হয়নি।
সেকশন বি তে স্যার রাউটিং অফ ভয়েস কলস এন্ড ডাটা ইন বাংলাদেশ স্লাইডটা শুরু করছিলেন।
Now section A. Section A.
এই স্লাইডটা পড়ানো হয়নি স্যার।
Let's not forget I didn't discuss that one. So did I discuss unlicensed bands? Unlicensed bands were discussed, right? Okay. 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 Sorry. Then let us go this way. We will discuss this superhit. I'll discuss later with particular section. Section number 2, I'm going to discuss section later. So, repetition for second. Sorry, please, shortly. So then let me discuss section A only. We are now discussing how the information, physical information is routed within a connected network, and we are taking about right. We'll talk about both voice and data information routed and the digital information. It's all about digital information. Your information is first converted into binary bits, and then we are routing this only digital and analog communication networks and digital. So there are two ways to allocate resources for the data can be allocated: circuit switching and packet switching. However, the name suggests the information is always packetized. The bits may be sent with this stream one after another. No matter what, there is a concept of packetization. There are some boundaries of the bits in the stream. There are some boundaries which are considered to be a block or a packet. So, there are also clearly both CS and PS use packetized data. I think very important. The difference is that this is statistically because without the resource beforehand, sorry, without the resources beforehand, the capacity is done. So the in the case of packet switching, once you have data to send, you request for some resources and communication link, and once it is allocated, you put your data on it. So if you're making a request, you're starting a data session. No resources are allocated
Sir,
for.
are you sharing screen?
Yeah, it's
Sir, the screen is not.
visible or really. Okay, so sharing again. Is it visible now? Okay. So
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is the title of the course. Voice of the information. We need to think about it. So this circuit and packet switching, comparing, and for circuit switching, it's suggested when you set up the voice, you initiate a data session. Some resources in that make up communication is dedicated to you, and it is dedicated for you until the session is over, like until the first one is terminated, or your data station. So the same resources will remain for you. Nobody else is going to use. So throughout the session, have it served. Sometimes you may not be actually transmitting, but you still have the resource ready for you. So in this case, uh, you have a guaranteed availability of the resource to send your data. On the other hand, for packet switching, the resources are not visible. So you initiate the session, but it will not reserve it for you. When you get some data for transmission, you request resource, and then resources are allocated, and then you put your data. Once you finish your current data, the resources will be taken away. Again, you have some data for transmission, the new resources will be allocated, which may not get the same resource as you had before. And then again, you put your data, and once you finish, the resource will be allocated. So in this case, the these resources are not reserved. So when you're not using, the resource will be used by somebody else. So the resources are more efficiently used. When you don't have any data transmission, the resources are not left unused. Somebody else can use it. In the past, when the application is first started, something about 20 days ago, there are only few users in the world with very little information for transmission. So the efficiency of resources are not very important. Rather, it was important that you get the availability of resources for all of them. So circuit switching was the earlier solution. But nowadays, there's so many people and so much data in hand, and you have to allocate resources for all of them. So the efficiency of resources become more important. So circuit switching is getting obsolete, and packet switching is taking over. However, there is of course problem with the packet switching that since many people are using, you may not have the resource available when you get some data ready because it is already occupied. Maybe power situation, somewhat many people are already using the resources. So you have data ready, but the system cannot allocate anything for you. And then what do you do in case of packet switching? You keep buffering your data, and at some point of time, you still, I mean, you may not get any resource and you may have overflow in the buffer and the packets may be. That's how packet drops are not unlikely in a case of packet switching. So you cannot maintain good quality of service or you cannot guarantee good quality of service. Only in the case of packet switching, you have reserved resources. So this is allocated anyway for you. You can guarantee the quality of service or packet drop negligible. Now, what is used in practice? Uh, so, it, currently today in our country, almost all voice and SMS services use Ping. Except the limited use you know, we use of Ping. Uh, in some part of the uh, the 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 So let me start recording. Uh, Maybe 3G code use orders. But for 4G onwards, packet switching is no longer supported. Okay, enhancing the technology uses only text. So how the voice content is supported? Well, for several decades worldwide, a very expensive infrastructure was developed to support voice was the main means of communication. And there is a well-established uh, network around the globe, and it's very reliable. So overnight, you cannot leave it. You cannot switch to a new installation. Gradually, people are migrating to packet switching for OS or data services like intercepting the internet or the email or download some file. For our data services, the packet switching that has been used all the time. But when it comes to voice, well, packet switching is a reliable solution available. So, I mean, that is easier. So for 40 onwards, what they did, it was, uh, they went for an intermediate solution. Like until they can completely migrate to packet switching, OS, they'll be using packet switching, uh, the, I mean, postponing the packet switching. So when you make a call, LT, 40, uh, it postpones the packet switching services, switches the circuit switch, switches to 203 and complete the first call, then comes back to PS. That's what we experienced. This is not used, not supported. You make a voice call. It is a call between the same companies like the Garmin phone and Garmin phone. You are a Garmin user and someone who is on the Garmin network too. Then the voice information is routed within the Garmin phone network. Doesn't go outside. But if you call someone outside, I will call someone else on a different network, maybe a road user, then there is a node or ICX interconnection exchange. Uh, and
Sir,
that is
আসসালামু
called by
আলাইকুম।
our one salam. Yeah. Any,
স্যার,
yeah, please. Yeah,
আহ,
please.
স্যার, স্যার, জানি না অন্যদের ক্ষেত্রে হচ্ছে কিনা, কিন্তু আমি স্যার আপনার ভয়েসটা মানে অনেক নয়েজি শুনতেছি।
Really?
কথা হচ্ছে কিন্তু কথা ঠিক মতো বুঝতে পারতেছি না।
Maybe. Is it the same for others too?
ইয়েস।
Internet looks alright. I mean, mobile data, mentioned connectivity, but in the headset, I use this headset. No report of any problem before. You still have the same problem, right? The voice is not clear, right?
ইয়েস স্যার।
I could just reconnect my headset. There are 7 iOS companies in marketplace. And although I list here the formal reasons for inclusion of iOS, but the actual reason is that iOS, the government added this node to monitor each and every call. That you cannot route, it must route via iOS. So, I mean, right there, right in the beginning, routing your call, government should be able to detect. So they can avoid delaying it. Well, as I said, that voice over IP itself is not illegal, and in this, in particular, I was teaching a student, and in my office, landphone was actually weird. I mean, our all the landphones in our university are VIP. So in that case, say if the other end is also a VIP user, uh, you have the package like the way we have our internet, uh, our, our computer. So we are connected now. So your phones are connected to the internet interface and then connected to the internet cloud, then other connected to other phone. And but if you are a normal uh, phone user, but landline phone, then you need some adapter convert the information into VIP packets. Yes, yes. However, if you're a VIP phone user and the other end is the normal landline telephone user, then the information has to go through a VIP server, which converts the information into regular information and via regular landline telephony network information can then be routed. So this way, it's made compatible. The telephony, the landline telephony is made compatible with the existing or legacy parts. So this way, it's like, say, when you say that landline telephony PRT, it's like the way you're sending your packets on WhatsApp. You're also sending your person. So for routing data, now so that completes the discussion on voice calls. If you have any questions, please go ahead and ask me. Now we'll now see how the data is routed. I don't remember if this part we covered with section B. Probably we did not, right? Section B, guys. This part probably I was yet to discuss with you, right? I'm just making sure that the early part was a repetition for section B, but now I think I could catch up. Section B, guys. Are you with me? Did I discuss IIG? Anyway, please pay attention. I believe we will cover it with the in the route data instead of ITW, there is II, it's called Internet Gateway. However, this time say ITW, IIT, ICX, IOX, these are all some local names given by Bangladesh telecom authority. These are not used outside our country. So like in place of IID, they just call ISP, Internet Service Provider, outside, but they are some ISPs at level. So yeah, IIG, we are connected to the rest of the world for routing data. Just like internet connectivity. What the tech links to be used? So there are three ways to connect the electricity cables. So it's owned by the government, a government company, or it's government limited. Yes, yeah. Now, so yeah, Bengal, we have two to and alternatively, there are some overhead cables. Well, of course, all these cables are optical fiber. Overhead cables connecting to India. Along with power lines, these connect optical fiber late, and that's how we connect to different ISPs in India and get internet connectivity. It's called ITC, International Trade Network. Again, this ITC is a local name in Bangladesh. The third choice is there is to use a satellite. Yes, satellite. We can also internet connectivity, but the third choice is no longer popular. It's very expensive. There are currently 24 IIT companies. These numbers from now on, all the numbers in this discussion are residential street. At this moment, there are many different networks facilitating this segment above. Guys, do you hear me? Is the sound clear or please let me know whether there is any problem or not. The attendance is very poor from two sections. There will be 100 people, but it's 25. Guys, but do you hear me? Is everything
Yes, sir.
correct? Okay.
Yes, sir. So there are quite a few different networks. Some of them are in this part of the world are SMW, AME, WLX, Islamic Link, Western Europe. And there are among these connectivities, SMW4 and SMW5 are clear connectivity. The history that first Bangladesh received an offer connect to SMW3 free. Which is that when it connected to SMW4 coaster, but if that's the connectivity first is the first is 1 billion. For SMW5, it cost us 6.6 billion tax. Well, very interestingly, when the world was first coming up with this solution, things were sort of easy in many cases, and especially for Bangladesh, it offered a completely free connection. But Bangladesh rejected this offer back in 1990. Why? Because Bangladesh had no idea. The authority were completely in the dark. In the technically they had, I mean, no, I mean, significant knowledge. So they thought that it might be a race, security might breach our information illegal. So that's how they did it. How funny. So since then, until 2006, Bangladesh had to rely on the satellite connectivity. We had a lot of small dish antennas for interconnection of then for DSL. So Bangladesh had to wait until 2006 to get good connectivity when they first a discussion lands at the Bajar. The capacity was 200 Gbps initially, but later it was increased to 800 Gbps. And shortly it will be increased to 400 Gbps with the additional cost of is needed. For SMW5, it is said that 6 billion was the cost and capacity is 1700 Gbps. And discussion lands in shortly. The first connection is underway. It's going to be 30,200 Gbps and it's going to cost 8.67 billion. Maybe available next year, although I say here 25, but probably it's very cheap. Some private connectivity establishment of interconnections are also mostly led by Summit. There are two other companies with them. And for the first time, they are going to set up a rental network in their platform. The value consumption, okay, I'm just showing you some figures how the overall value consumption grew up in our country. Just to exemplify, uh, but this is why these numbers we don't have to memorize. Except the last, I have like 3 slides here. The numbers on this slide, please remember, but not the two earlier ones. Like say in 2017, it was only 550 UPS. In 18, it grew to 950, 19, it grew to 1300 UPS. You see how the it was shared between submarine development and the IPC. 900 Gbps was supported by submarine and 400 by IT out of 700. In 21, it grew to 2650 Gbps and around 1550 from submarine cable, the rest from IT. Then 22, 3840 with 1200 from submarine. The capacity, total consumption increase. Now, exceeds 6,000 Gbps. Please remember at least the number from this slide. I said in recently last year, now in 2023, the unit consumption was 5,000 with 2,700 DIGC and 300 PLR rate. Now the total exceeds 600. And it is supported by different IIDs, I say, and the largest share comes from Summit, then Robert Home, 4%, 1%, or 10%. So you see these are the major developing for data. And it is exporting more bandwidth to the STEM system in India since 2015. In the Bangladesh may export to external future. A comparison between the initial establishment is used for submarine, very under sea, but for ITC it is very easy to set up, basically. But the monthly fees are very high, I think. The charge a lot. Whereas for submarine travel, you have very cheap. You are definitely connected to some ISP or something, and you get a lot of data, anything less. Now, I mean, this slide explains the advantages of ITC. There are two advantages. The first one I'll explain now. The second one I'll explain after a while. I'll come back to this to discussing something. Well, the submarine cable is a problem that sometimes may have a path in the cable, and the repair can be very time consuming. The take 1 or even 2 weeks. You have to detect the right point of problem and in the ship they are in the complex solution. So still you can reach the development, you have to use this. So you unless you have a backup connection, you are completely disconnected. So this is the problem with submarine travel. Whereas in the case of ITC, it is laid over the head. So normally you don't have any problem. And if there is any problem in the cable, you can fix it very quickly. So there is almost no disruption in service. In case of IT. This makes a huge difference. Now we will discuss something else that I'll come back. These are the there are 7 IT separate. You see that different in different types of roles in the telecom industry. Like some is an IID, it's an IGW2, it's also you can see here an ITC. So many different ways they are making money. Now, the internet connection uses ISPs at different levels, and these are called tier. Tier 1 ISPs are the top level ISPs. They form the internet backbone in the world. And this is the whole list of tier 1 ISPs. You see that only a few countries represent, and there is one company from every country. But except USA. Of US, US is there. So USA holds actually the backbone internet connection. And all these tier 1 ISPs have mesh connection, meaning that everyone is connected to all other tier 1 level ISPs. With a very, very high speed link. And they also have a sharing agreement, means that they don't charge each other. Uh, so they can route among themselves for free. Then tier 2 level ISPs are connected to them. And of course, tier 2 ISPs pay tier 1 ISP. Tier 3 ISPs can be connected to tier 2 level ISP. And they have to connect them tier 2. And finally, I mean, they can be connected to localized base and then some individual. So this is how the total connection. You see in this figure, tier 1 ISPs have a mesh connection, but tier 2 ISPs getting bandwidth from tier 1. So then an internet backbone is created with the mesh connection of tier 1 level ISP. So you see that from tier 1, then from tier 2, then tier 3, and localized base. And when you are sending data to your friend, and two of you are making some WhatsApp voice call. So how the data is routed, your information goes to localized feed, then tier 3, then tier 2, then tier 1, and then somehow, I mean, another tier 1, then that's all. Then how to put in the internet. And now in our country, see that SMW 4 and SMW 5 are located over there. So for our major IAGs, that's how they are connected. On the left side, it shows connection to an Indian ISPs via ITP. It goes via Joshua. Now, the ISPs in India that we are connected are Tata, Harti, and Protein. And from SMW, there is a connection to Chennai, and there is also a connection from Chennai to Singapore. I mean, in our area, Chennai and Singapore are the major ports for connection. These are called ports. And here, SMW5, where we have a connection directly to Singapore. It doesn't go to Chennai. These electric cables are owned by BSCCL to some extent within the city. And their turn onwards, the connections are owned by some other companies. So, so different parts are actually owned by different people. So this way, you are facilitating the routing of the data. It is called IP transit. So IP transit is taken care of, like you see that this is taking care of IP transit. So just the next step within the city. But the rest are like the different companies, CIS, PCW, Orange, uh, one is a French company, CX is an Italian company. So they charge for this link, and then they connect, they facilitate connection to some ISP like they're in Singapore. So this ISP, Singapore, maybe China Mobile. This particular ISP, now see that by increase something called PNI. These are some local cache servers. Like lots of time, people fetch data from Google or say from Facebook. So there's a major um, this I mean the application ends in exchange that data with. So this is what they do for free. They can install their own cache servers on your device. If you are supplying use data as an IS, like or major IAGs have some local campus from Google. So in that, because I know about the company which I'm referring to now, they have local cache servers from Google, Facebook, and Cloudflare. Cloudflare hosts many different or some major web services. So if it is located there, then the latency will be very low. You can quickly fetch data from there. Right? Also, if your IID does not have any service in Dhaka, if you're connected to India, then in Kolkata, there are servers from Facebook, Google, or Amazon. So Kolkata is not far from Dhaka. You can still get data with very low latency. Well, if you are connected, if you're, as I said, that we have almost say, like when we had 5,000 Gbps connectivity, around 2,700 used ITC, and 2,300 used carbon cable. A lot of data will be routed via subject. Well, even when you are routing carbon cable, when it goes to children, there are servers like from Google or Facebook, internet, from there you can fetch data. In Singapore, there are cache servers, so you may not have to go far for these kinds of major communication. However, if you are connected, if you're communicating with a server or in Europe, then of course data has to be routed all the way there, causing significant latency. Of course, say you are accessing an university in USA, you're fetching the admission information, you're submitting your application for admission. So you're then communicating with the server, and that's the web server of that university. So of course, then you have the data is routed on the way. So there will be significant latency. So this latency can be, depending on the location in the world, the path, all of these two paths, ITC or subnet network, can give you a shorter path. Like if you're communicating with, say, you are applying to a German university, then if the data goes via ITC, you have a shorter path, you know, because this way, you, you get a distance. The latest can will grow. On the other hand, if you are communicating with the university in California on the western side of US, then via Singapore, you have a shorter path. So latency will be short. So it also depends on which parts of the world you are communicating to. And latency can be smaller depending on that. So ITC can help you in some cases to get the data quickly delivered. This is what we had here on this slide. The second point is that with ITC to this slide, some parts of the world may be closer and latency can be lower when ITC is used. But in some parts, the subnet cable can give you lower latency. So if we have both options, ITC and then we may benefit in terms of latency more times. Also, with ITC, you may connect to India and Kolkata, so allowing you to say access on Google server, Facebook server, Sketch server, so allowing lower latency. And when you are connected to some data, these are called these Sketch servers or data centers. So when you are you don't only have low latency, but also have smooth connection. I mean, fewer packets because it's I mean, nearby location, so short connection, and you have don't expect much. And when the latency can be less than a millisecond when you are taking data from a data center in Pakistan. But if you were say connected via the ESPCL, then this particular part up to Chittagong, the data protects around 6 milliseconds. See the difference in latency? So you may be connected via data is routed via your Singapore. Okay. So talking about the rest part, up to Chittagong, it will add latency of 6 milliseconds. Or you can quickly fetch data from that. Takes less than minutes. That's how the data centers can help you a lot. And those the major like work they install have their performance better, user experience better for 3 days from the test. If you like test. Okay, let me stop here. If it's already 12, we'll go from here. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, thank you very much. I'm gonna upload it. If you people are good at this, you get it. Okay. Thank you. Once again, any questions? Not
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
one question.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.